It is gloomy. Tastes weird today. Okay, good morning. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Ava. Good morning, Jordan. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to Morning Medley number 161. The last one that I did was an OBS stream, which was a live production. I was glad that that finally worked out. I've been trying to get that in order and underway for a pretty long time now, since last year. So, thanks, Jordan. It was a very long weekend, huh? Even my piano sounds weird. Look, I haven't streamed in like months. So, guys, so the reason that I didn't sleep last night is because I was out of town and I took a Greyhound back to Los Angeles, and the Greyhound left at 11 p.m. and I got back at 6 a.m. and then I got on the subway to downtown LA, and then I got on a bus to my neighborhood away from downtown, and I walked here, and then I started my stream. So yeah, I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little tired, and I apologize for that if it shows in the stream. But good morning, everybody. Lost in my mind, I see you, I see you. Thank you for joining the stream. Good morning. I hope you've had a good weekend. I don't know if you were in Thursday's stream. But Thursday's stream was our first production stream. And I'm going to be doing them every 10 streams. So since today is 161, 170 will be the next live production stream. And the first one was kind of freeform. There was no agenda. But I think moving forward, for the 9 morning medleys like the one that we're in now, preceding a production stream, we're going to create the agenda via me coming up with ideas, or you guys doing suggestions. Maybe you guys want to see a breakdown of an older song that I have. Hopefully not too old. And then maybe you guys want to do a live creation thing where I'm making a new song and you have a suggestion of a type of song you would like to see me create. Here's where we would be taking those suggestions. Good morning, Zaina. Good morning, Maddie. Good morning, Bacon Boy. I'm gonna start things with Spring Street. Where's my mouse? of sleep for you. Good morning, Lindsay. I've had nights like that potato gaming, where I've been on my phone all night. It's been a pretty long time, though, since one of those. Good morning, by the way, Kid James. I don't know if I said good morning to you it wasn't great, Kid, but thank you for asking. How was your weekend? Good morning, Isidore. Was it a big house, Kid? Good morning, Jaime. That was up in the Bay, Lindsay. Next time, man. That song is called Reflection Pool. Oh, you're welcome for the 7-8 to downtown, Easy Door. I guess I launched a medley. I am so sleepy. Thank you, kid. No, no sleep now. I will finish the stream. I will finish the stream. This song is called Liminality. This song doesn't actually have a name. It's kind of more of a transitionary song. But we're all going to find out what it's transitioning into this time, I suppose. Oh, sick. Hi, Tote. Tote? Tote? Huh. I thought I said toast. Okay, so I don't know who all was in the Thursday stream last week. Good morning, Josh Sinju. So last week's last stream of the week was a production stream. Last week's stream was a production stream, and it was kind of freeform and it lasted a really long time. So before we do the next one, which will happen on Morning Medley number 170. And for the next time I do a morning medley that's a production stream, I would like for there to be some type of like plan or a list of things that you guys want me to do or a type of song you guys want me to create live. So for these next 9 streams, starting with today's, I want to take suggestions of like what you guys want to hear a breakdown of, as long as the song's not too old, because those songs are butchered all the heck. But if there's a more recent song you want to see a production breakdown of like how I made it, or there's a specific type of thing you want to maybe see me make in these next streams, maybe let's discuss those things. Only my question got lost, says Isadora. I watched the OBS stream and it was dope. I love the House Nova song. The last one, what is the title? That song doesn't have a title, but the name of the project file is Boss of Fire. It's just a placeholder name so that I have something to, save it under. But it doesn't have a name, an official name yet. Sorry. Gotta chill for some reason. Oh, Leanna, you made it. Ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. Here comes Leanna. Ba-ba-ba. I think that Double Lutz is probably going to end up fitting into a song kind of like Liminality did. Maybe not in the same exact way, but, I'd like to know how you decide on what samples and instruments you use in a track, or something to that effect, says Umbe. I would love to do that, Umbe. Thank you. Christ. Okay, I would love to do that. That would be easy for me. This next song is not Double Lutz. Double Lutz is still coming. This next song is called Signals, because I never play Signals. Queen of cute nicknames. Good morning, Ninja Rick. Meow says, why no sleep? Okay, I'll say it again. Because I think Cyber missed it too. So I was out of town. Yeah, I was out of town. I needed to get back into LA, so I took a Greyhound. I took a Greyhound back into LA. But my Greyhound left the bay at 11:35 p.m. last night. And I got to Los Angeles at 6:15-ish a.m. this morning. And then I walked to downtown and I took the subway. No, I took the subway to downtown and then I walked to the Civic Center and took the bus to my neighborhood and walked the rest of the way home. And then I got in here and I changed clothes and then I started the stream. Well, I made a smoothie first, but I have not slept because I was in transit all night. Also, Greyhounds are horrible. Not to be a negative person, but I'm a megabus man myself, and I got on a Greyhound for the second time now. It's never not a nightmare. Megabus is always so smooth. Greyhound is always a nightmare. Somehow it was a nightmare on the way up there. It was a nightmare on the way back from there. It was a nightmare when I took one on the way back the last time. There's always something. There's always a fight on the bus. On the way up there, the driver called the cops and had somebody hauled off the bus for reasons I still don't understand. On the way back, somebody apparently got their phone stolen, and so everybody in the bus was like turning on each other like, you got the phone, and then the bus driver was like, well, I'm not going to drive this bus back to Los Angeles until somebody gives up the phone. And so then it kind of forced us all to police ourselves, and one guy kind of like elected himself as like king of the bus and was like carrying a small baseball bat and was like, let's see the inside of your bag, and everybody was getting scared, and I was like, hey man, why would I steal a phone? He was like, let me see the inside of your bag, and I was like, fine, alright. And I open up my bag and there's a half-eaten slice of pizza in there and also a half-eaten cheeseburger and my toothbrush and some underwear. And he's like, okay, this guy doesn't have the phone. I was like, I told you I didn't have the phone. And then he goes to an old lady, and the old lady's like, you're not going to look at my purse. And he's like, sorry, lady, nobody's excluded. And the bus driver said, calm down, everybody, calm down. I'll call the cops, and they'll sort this all out. And I was like, I don't want to have to deal with the cops again on the way back. So everybody says, no cops, no cops. And the bus driver says, yeah, I got to call the cops. They're the only authority. And then everybody on the bus is like, we don't have time to sit here in the middle of nowhere. I got to get to LA. I got kids to feed. And I was like, I have a stream to do. Morning medleys, baby. And then the bus driver was like, fine, fine, fine. I'll call the cops. And Anyways, the driver calls the cops and has them meet us back in LA. He's like, hey, this way you won't be in the middle of nowhere. You can just get home and then have the cops search you. And then we get back home, and the cops are lining everybody up to search us. But apparently somebody has drugs in their bag, so he runs for it, and the cops are chasing him down, and they got their guns out, and they're doing their cop thing. And since there was no cops looking at the rest of us, we all kind of just dispersed. And so I got on the subway. And the entire time I was like, well, I should make it back home at least 30 minutes before my stream. Boy, am I sleepy. Oh, thanks, Jaime. Yeah, Jaime, I don't know if you have any experience with Greyhounds, but don't do it. Crisis HQ, thank you for liking my music. I do really appreciate that comment, especially now. I'm feeling rather deflated. So thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm inflated with money, if I'm some type of cash pinata. I don't know. But thank you. Everybody in here is some form of inflation. Inflation. Has anybody ever gotten to inflation? I almost said porn, but I don't know. Kink, is that a thing? In like 2015, I accidentally stumbled into a weird place on the internet where it was just a bunch of drawings of Sonic, but he had been inflated. There was like bicycle like tire inflators like plugged into like his belly button, and like people were pumping him up and he was getting really big, and I was like, this person's weird. But then I looked more on the internet and it turns out that's like it's a pretty big audience for people that just want to inflate Sonic. It's very specific to Sonic. I don't know. Anyways, if you want to see it, it's out there. But if you don't want to see it, don't. It probably won't find you. It probably won't find you. I was just looking for Sonic pictures. Okay, anyways, yeah, Greyhound's trash. Stick to Megabus. Or, I mean, fly if you can afford it. Pretty chord there. Okay, so this next song is called Double Lutz. I wish that sounded more conclusive, right? I wish that sounded more conclusive. I wish I could end a phrase like that, because this to me sounds conclusive. It sounds like it ends. It doesn't sound like it's ending. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Was the trip worth the hassle, says Cyber? Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say absolutely yes. I'm a mega. Oh yeah, Megabus baby. I knew I liked Lindsay. Megabus is dope. First Megabus I ever took was from Philadelphia to Manhattan, and from that moment on, I was smitten. I'd never been on a bus like that. A bus felt like Disneyland. Anyways, hello Mariah, welcome back to the stream. Soothsayer says, sorry about your bad night, but at least you got a good story out of it. There's this character, Soothsayer, in Ace Combat. Okay, this is for no one. This anecdote's for no one. But there's a character in Ace Combat 7. I don't care what his name is, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just something like White Pilot Man. And every single time you do something, he's like, this is amazing. I can't wait to tell my son about this later. And it's like, the first time he says it's like, oh, that's endearing. And then the second time he says it's like, oh, that's fun. And then the third time he says it, it's like, oh, that's like his thing. That's his catchphrase. And it becomes the joke. Like, after anything happens, he's like, I can't wait to tell my son about this later. Like, my son's never going to believe this. And that's what your comment reminded me of. It was like, awful things happen, but it's like, hey, man, you get to tell somebody about this thing later. My son loves stories from the sky. Yeah, something about a bus having two stories, Lindsay. It like makes me happy. Sitting up at the top, it's like I'm flying. It's like a plane ride for brokies. Mild, mildly funny Maddie. You know, I've been calling you Maddie so much that I completely forgot there's two other words in your username. Anyways, Maddie says we got a bus called the Bolt Bus. Oh, I know Bolt Bus. Oh, I know Bolt Bus, Maddie. I'm very familiar with Bolt Bus. Anyways, Bolt Bus that I used to take from Seattle to Portland all the time. The slogan was Bolt for a buck. Yeah. Yes. I mean, you can get a $1 Bolt Bus ticket. I've gotten a $5 or $6 Bolt Bus ticket. And it was because I bought it way ahead of time, and it was at a horrible time of night. It was like a red eye bus trip. But yeah, I'm very familiar with Bolt Bus, Mega Bus. No, I can hear it in my head. Now arriving Union Station. Transfer here for Red Line, Purple Line, Blue Line, Expo Line, Bolt Bus, Megabus. Something, 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 something. Greyhound. Something. Oh, I've forgotten some of them, I guess. Anyways, a lot of the big buses go to Union Station, and so that's why I know about Bolt Bus. Take a Megabus, Leon. Next time you're going down to SoCal, if that ever happens again. I love the cheese catchphrases in Ace Combat. It's so good. It's very good. I love Ace Combat. I love it. I'm a new convert, by the way. I was not a big fan of those games a long time ago. I think, Dark. There's like Omni's extensive knowledge of buses is a. Okay, so first of all, I'm a bus boy. I call myself a metro boy because whenever I go to a city, I try to learn everything that's not cars. It's like, what are all the train lines called? What are all the bus lines called? What do they look like? How much do they cost? Where can I take them? What do they smell like? What do they sound like? That's why a lot of my songs are about transit. But yes, I do have a lot of knowledge about buses and subways. Um, Potato says, dang, you're on the other side of the U.S. Well, I certainly hope so. We stopped at a gas station, says Cyber, and normally they play messages on the intercom to let people know to get back on the bus. The driver was in a hurry and didn't check for everyone on the bus and didn't give the announcement. I believe this. Bus drivers are a fun lot, right? Anyone ever take a train, says Bobby? I personally love the Amtrak. I took an Amtrak, Bobby. Yes, by the way, Bobby. But there's a lot of Amtrak lines here. California, there's a lot in New York. There's a lot in between, but I'm just going to talk about those two for right now because those are the only cities that matter in this country, apparently. There's a Amtrak line called the Pacific Surfliner or the Pac Surliner, and it's right on the ocean. So if you take it from LA to San Diego or LA to Santa Barbara, you just have this beautiful view of like beach, forest, and you're like going in between all these trees, and then it just like you'll go over the crest of a hill, and it's like ocean, and it's beautiful. And that I think was one of the most pleasant Amtrak trips I've ever taken. I am planning to. I was gonna do it this year, but then this year fell apart, and it's still in the process of falling apart further. But this year was supposed to be the year that I took a Amtrak from Los Angeles to New York City, because that is a thing that I need to do. I need to take a cross country train trip so that I can feel more connected to this large landmass of which I only particularly care about the edges. I kind of care about the South. I kind of care about the West Coast. I kind of care about the East Coast. And I kind of care about all the little like gritty bits that touch Canada. But all of this stuff in the middle? Oh, and Chicago. I care about Chicago because, I mean, and Detroit, I guess. But Detroit, in my opinion, is one of the gritty bits that touches Canada. Jordan says, I mean, did I hear you say, did, oh my goodness, why is this difficult for me? Jordan says, did I hear you say you were in the Bay? You did hear me say I was in the Bay. That was a tongue twister for me for some reason. Dar wants me to change my name to Omnibus. There was a joke where I played a show as Omnibus because I told people that I wouldn't play a show. I told people that I wouldn't play any shows, and so I was like, maybe if I played under another name, that somehow won't break the promise that I made, which is stupid. But I played the show under Omnibus. Um, okay, so. Oh, sorry. All right. Wow, my head is swimming. I was so lucky because I had a friend in Memphis who happened to be in town and intercepted the bus and saved our stuff. Then a friend of mine who works. Then a friend of friends picked us up an hour away and it all worked out. Wow, that sounds extremely fortunate, Cyber. Um. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't hit anybody up in the bay. I'm sorry. My boyfriend and I wanted to take one from Austin to Colorado and then get a nice tiny house Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. That sounds romantic, Bobby. It was the last line of the final rap battle and let it shine. No one got it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Dar. I'm sorry I didn't get the reference. Okay, so really quick, I was going to say something, and just like that, I've lost it. Okay, so I took a night bus. Do you know what a night bus is? I mean, context clues. It's a bus that drives at night. But I took a night bus from Osaka to Japan. Guys, I got sleep brain, okay? Apologies. I took a night bus from Osaka to Tokyo. I took a train, a bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka, and it took me like what felt like 7 minutes. And then I stayed in Osaka, and then we went to the theme park or whatever. And then that night we took another bus, which somehow like came and picked us up in Osaka. I mean, at Universal Studios, like right outside Universal Studios, and it took us all the way back to Tokyo. But it was a night bus, which means it goes all night. And since it's Japan, you can't like be on your phone. You can't like have your screen. It's like people are sleeping on this train. It's like these men are working all day and they're taking freaking night trains to get into the town center. So you can't even really have your phone out. But I remember the bus takes a stop, or makes a stop just like all other buses in all other parts of the globe. And they're like, okay, bathroom break, get your snacks. And I remember going in to this big rest stop, and it was so dark out because we were like in the Japanese countryside. So it was just like everywhere you looked was like pitch black, and then there was like this beacon of light that was the truck stop. And I remember kind of dilly dallying, like looking at the snacks and sleepily like walking around and using the bathroom. And I remember my friend freaking out because the bus was starting up, and I remember them calling me and being like, "Yo, where are you? Like, we're gonna leave you." And for a second, and the same way that like sometimes when you're on a bridge and you just kind of want to launch yourself over it into whatever is down there that's gonna smash you to bits, I like kind of just felt like staying there and letting the bus leave me in that dark nothingness and calling that my home until I was terminated or or rescued. Yeah, the night bus. Megabus is great though. Potato. Megabus is great. Hoodie Omni is my favorite, says Dar. I'm only wearing this hoodie is because maybe I just shouldn't talk. I'm only wearing this hoodie because I'm cold. I think it's a very gloomy day in LA today, and I didn't want to wear the shirt that I was wearing on the bus in the stream because it smelled weird. Greyhound buses smell really weird. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only like chill person on the bus. You know what I mean? I feel like I mean, with all due respect, sometimes when I get on the ground, I feel like everybody on it is like bozos. Like everybody's like got a thing. Like this is the loud one. This is the one that's like chewing gum really noisily. This is the one that's trying to start a fight with everybody. This is the one that's very clearly smoking on the bus, like cigarettes. Like nobody's saying anything. It's like a regular assortment of fun characters, and I feel like I'm just kind of sitting there. Like I don't need to be there. Oh, and then one lady was like, when she was yelling at the dude that lost his phone, she was like, "Y'all don't understand. I work for the," and then she like said some like lab name. She was like, "I work for the such and such labs. We're working on cures for coronavirus. Like I get paid more in like a week than you do in like 5 years, buddy. Like you better like sit back down. Like I don't want to hear you." And I was just like, "Miss, you're on a Greyhound bus. You're not making more in a week than any of us do." But I didn't, I didn't want to like take part in that. I don't know. You can't flex on the Greyhound bus. Anyways, goodbye, Kit James. Thank you for being in the stream. And this is the first time, Kit James, that I saw you on this. Well, no, I did play it. I did play Reflection Pool. I did it. Wow. Okay. Well, goodbye, Kit, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that I got to play Reflection Pool for you before you left. Half the time a crying baby sits in front of me, says Liana, and it happened on a night bus once. I stood up and moved near the bathroom. Oh, heck yeah. I'd rather smell a poop than hear a boop. It was a really weird flex, Deedler. Oh, Deedler. Welcome back. Hey, Deedler, want to hear a song called Love Dream? That'd be really cool if I could play it. The song has love in the title. Yo, stay away from my smoothie. Goodbye, potato. Enjoy your lunch. Wet Lover, says Bacon Boy, which is a song that samples another song called Love Letters. Good ear on you, Bacon Boy. Ooh, that was cool and unintentional. would have never done that. Wait, would I have? No, my mom wouldn't have been down. My mom, I don't know that if my mom likes uh, martial arts films. Anywho, thank you for watching it, Lindsay. I don't know, I'm thanking you. I didn't get any money from that, but I just didn't want to feel alone. I feel like I was the only person in the world who had seen that movie. And so thank you, Maddie, for watching it. Thank you, Lindsay, for watching it. Um, if I'm going to boil down why I like that movie, okay, let me explain my psyche. Get out of here. Come on, scram. Scram. There's a movie, I mean, there's a TV show called Switch Girl. I'm not going to get into it, but it's really cheesy and it's Japanese. And then I saw High Kick Angels, and I thought to myself, this looks really stupid. And then I saw who was choreographing the fight scenes, and I was like, oh, I trust this man. And so I ended up watching it. And the movie is silly. But, Lindsay, and I hope that this does not fall on deaf ears, some of the fight choreography is very, very impressive. That was probably my first martial arts movie. Oh my god, Lindsay, it's all downhill from there. I hope that, I wish that you had started with something that wasn't so dope. Unless you count Kill Bill and Karate Kid. I do not count Karate Kid. I guess I count Kill Bill as a martial arts movie. It is a martial arts movie, but because it's a Tarantino film, I wanted to disqualify it. I had to look up videos of the choreography afterwards. It's like really wild, right, Lindsay? The there's this thing. Oh, can we talk about it? Can we talk about the thing? I'm getting into the thing. There's this thing that happened. For my people on the stream that have seen Old Boy, so like probably 2 people, there's an infamous scene in an Old Boy called the hallway scene, and it's a fight scene, and it's famous because of the way the fight is choreographed, right? We've all seen punches, we've all seen kicks. Now, as far as from a director's standpoint, how can we choreograph a fight to make it look cooler? And there's a very specific type of fight. Isadora saw Old Boy because of course she did. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say the hallway scene. I recommend The Raid. Yeah. The Raid also has this similar thing. I think when it comes to fight choreography, what are the types of fight choreography that are good? Huh? What are they? Let's list them, huh? One fight choreography that's very, very popular in America that I would argue is not good, but I would argue has its merits and its place in our hearts as being American, being almost prohibitively American, is like monster cuts. And when I say monster cuts, I mean that's not a technical term. I mean that's just a term that I use where like every fight scene has so many cuts and so many close-up, blurry, like shaky camera things that you can't really tell what's happening. A lot of the Marvel movies do this, like when Captain America fights somebody and it's just like ping ping and it's like shield, like front flip, and then the sound of like leather being like stretched, taut, and then like I don't know, licked and kissed or something. I don't know. I don't understand fight Foley in the Marvel films, but it's like you can't really tell what's happening, but you're supposed to be in awe at how amazing things are because there's a lot of like fist flying towards face, cut, person like flying. You know, you don't really get to see a lot of the impact, but you get to see a lot of the telegraph and then the after effect of the hit or the contact that's being made. Pause what I'm saying because Deagler's saying High Kick Angels is on like Kung Fu Hustle. I love martial arts films whenever they are goofy or not. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say it's. I would say that Kung Fu Hustle is quite a bit goofier. Kung Fu Hustle is maybe on towards the end of the spectrum on goofy martial arts films. Like it's incredibly goofy. Old Boy was incredibly disturbing, but I did thoroughly enjoy it, says Lindsay. It is a very, very well-made film. I'm here, I'm not late, am I? Says Zodiac. Zodiac, the stream starts at 9 a.m. every morning, so you are almost exactly 1 hour behind the start of the stream, but we won't make a big deal out of it. Thank you for making it to the stream at all. I appreciate you. Tony Jaws, the man, says Dealer, when it comes to fight choreography, I agree with this. getting back to what I said, so America has like the super quick cuts, lots of cuts, lots of cuts, lots of cuts. I don't like it. Jackie Chan style fight choreography. I attribute it to Jackie Chan because Jackie Chan. Let me not get into Jackie Chan quite yet because that could be a very long conversation. I'll say the next type of fight choreography is long, like we're just on them. It's not a lot of cuts and close up. It's like a wide shot of like two people fighting, and then it's like tracking them maybe around a house or something like that. I love this type of fight choreography. It's very good. It is very good. And then, and Jackie Chan uses this type of fight choreography, but he does like he makes it even wilder, which I'll get to in a second. And then the third type of fight choreography, again, these are my distinctions. So I'm sure there's like 8 types, but the third type for me is what I call circus fight choreography. And circus fight choreography. Did we watch the same Jackie Chan interviews as Soothsayer? I've seen a lot of Jackie Chan interviews. So probably, you've probably seen one that I've seen, if you're indeed talking to me. But the third type of fight choreography I call circus fight choreography is when there's like, say there's a group fight scene with, 8 dudes like running around. It's like when the camera is being passed around almost like a baton. Think of it like a baton in a relay race where it's like following this action, and then this person gets like kicked through a window and it follows them out the window and they land, and then they get up and somebody's fighting them, and then a car drives by and then it's following the car and somebody's shooting from the car, and it just feels very fluid, like it's just one wild circus, and your eyes are tracking like, oh, follow this person, follow this person. You do have a bit of focus because instead of showing from a wide shot of like 8 people just brawling, it's getting in tight and it's showing very, very specific conflicts, and it's tracking from one to another. I love that type of fight choreography. And High Kick Angels has some of that. Another kind of example of that, but I don't really want to count it because there's a lot of green screen involved, is like the scene in Endgame where it's like these people are fight, 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 laser, and then the camera follows the laser over here, and these people fight, 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 high five, follow the high five, yeah. Anyways, High Kick Angels, especially for like the last few fights, has some of the dopest fight choreography. I love it, just love it. Okay. Umbe says the fights that go for like 10 minutes and they're just beating each other. Oh, with little to no cuts are so dope. Yeah, because it doesn't really break the realism. It feels like you're just watching a street fight. And that is why people like the hallway scene in Old Boy. And that is why I like. There's every season of Daredevil has at least one episode that has a fight scene like that where it doesn't leave him. The camera stays on him and it's just one long shot. I love long shot fights. Okay. Maddie says, I love when stuff flows like that. I love that kind of stuff and flow in any type of movie or show. I feel that. Aaron Sorkin kind of has that sometimes where it's following people. I know he's popularized that with like The West Wing, where I'll be following 2 people talking and like, one person splitting off and then a new person coming in and being like, do you have the documents I wanted? And then, that's pretty cool. Aaron Sorkin gave us that, and we've been putting that in a lot of stuff since. So thank you, Aaron. I didn't really watch The West Wing, but I've seen a lot of stuff that is inspired by it. Kind of like Super Jail, Obey. Leslie says, I think my favorite fight was the white suit man in Maki. The kick where he has one. I mean, yeah. No, I feel that. That was pretty dope. Monkey was dope. Everything was dope and great. You know what I felt like was criminally underused, Lindsay? And I hope when I'm saying this, I'm not... Do I need to watch this movie now? Oh, see, now I can't say it because I don't want to spoil it for Cyber just in case Cyber watches it. But I will say, I just feel like one character, and Lindsay will get this, and Maddie will get this, and this doesn't spoil it for anybody. I feel like one particular character that seemed really cool, that was a villain, I feel like was criminally underused. In the entire movie, I was like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And then, like, at the end, I was like, oh. Like, okay. I guess. What a lot of hullabaloo. Hullabaloo? I think it's hullabaloo. What a lot of hullabaloo for no reason. Costume design. Yeah, costume design. The villains' costumes are really fun. Um, yeah, Deedler, whoever, watch High Kick Angels. It's a time. Hey, King Cake. Oh, gotta be sure I'm not dead. King Cake, I say the phrase "I'm not dead" so often indeed, that I can't help but feel like I named that song "I'm Not Dead." It's some kind of subliminal thing. Like it was like in my subconscious and it like eked out. I always tell people I'm not dead because I don't know how to reassure people all the time about my well-being. When people are like, "Are you okay?" Usually I'll just respond with "I'm not dead" because I don't want to lie if I'm not okay. I don't want to tell people I'm not okay, make them feel weird. All right. Hello, Diz. Hello, Diz. Hello, Diz. Deet, 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 deet. No. Oh, true, Cyber. Boy with an I. I'm interested. Goodbye, Bacon Boy. Thank you for being in the stream. I appreciate you. Mm. I did not get to chill with my pops. My pops lives very far away from me, so I did not get to see him. My sister started a group call with him, and I was on the first one, but he didn't pick up the phone. And then the second one, for some reason, it wouldn't let me join. So I'm gonna have to call him today. But I hope he had a good one. I hope he had a good daddy day. Oh man, heaven help me. All right, guys. All right, I seen you. It should be like. You know what? You know what's interesting to me about harpsichord? I found out about harpsichord from listening to a band called Malice Meezer. I think that might have been the first time I heard harpsichord. It was either Malice Meezer or Dragon Force, um, or just like power metal in general. Power metal was using a lot of PlayStation 5 type beats as Toad. You know what's funny, Toad? Somebody posted, somebody, it was Xbox. Xbox posted their like startup sound noise because like now Twitter allows you to like tweet sound. They like posted their startup noise, and a lot of people were like, "This sounds like PlayStation startup noise, bro. Like, what the heck?" And then somebody posted the PlayStation 5 startup noise. It was Sony, and people were like, "Oh, heck yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it." And I was like, for me, I'm not saying any of this. I'm not saying any of the startup sounds don't sound like anything or they don't matter. I get the ambiguity. I get how it just has to sound like basically like somebody played like that note and put a bunch of reverb on it and like weird sound design to make it sound like really lush and atmospheric and ambient. I get it. I get it. I just feel like, do we really care about startup noises that much? I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that the people cared so much about the startup noise. Even when I think about a PlayStation 4, I have one and I turn it on almost, at least several times a week, and I don't think I know what the startup sound even sounds like. I think I just think of like ambient, like it's just like it just sounds like a bunch of whales talking. Anyways, Jaime says I'd probably say that's how I also got introduced to harpsichord. Oh. Does toast stand for anything? And Toad says it stands for Toast 89. So it does mean toast. I mean, I don't know what 89 means. The PS3 startup noise matched the haughtiness of the ad campaign. Hmm. I didn't own a PS3, so I actually don't know what the startup noise sounded like. Was it just the whoom? Was it that thing, or is that just for the commercials? I actually don't know. But I didn't own a PS3, so all of that whole era of the PlayStation is kind of like lost to me, sadly. I had a PlayStation 2, and now I have a PlayStation 4. Um, just fanboy stuff. The new generation is starting up the old war engine again. Heck yeah, Umbe, console wars, console wars. They're the same exact thing. Same exact thing. I listened to a lot of 70s fusion rock that introduced me to the harpsichord, but I didn't identify the. And then Beeler trails off into nothingness there, but that's interesting. 70s fusion rock. I think 70s fusion rock introduced me to like the not the harpsichord but the clav. Sorry, I'm trying to make these noises with my mouth, and that's not the way to do it. I'm pretty sure I have it in this keyboard, unless I'm an idiot and I'm thinking of my other keyboard. No, not that. It's like a clav. Yeah, but like that with like a phaser on it. You know what I mean? I guess there isn't one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I do like that. What's weird is it kind of sounds like a harpsichord if you don't think about it too hard. Speaking of great consoles, yesterday I hooked my Wii back up for the first time in several years. Congratulations, Maddie. Hmm. Hardcore dubstep startup sound says Toad. Would I not like that? Probably wouldn't like that. I probably wouldn't care for that too much. Not gonna lie, Microsoft is just a bad company, so you can't really help but pick a side, sadly, says Bobby. Hmm. I think all companies are bad. But with that said, any preference I have to Sony over Microsoft has nothing to do with the Xbox not being good, but has a lot to do with Sony having a head start in the gaming industry. And so a lot of my beloved titles just happen to be PlayStation or Sony exclusives. Or even if they're not exclusives any longer, they started off as that, so I attributed them more to PlayStation. Even though I know Xbox has had a mountain of exclusive titles, whenever I think of Xbox, sadly, I think of Master Chief, Gears of War, characters, and yeah, that's kind of it as far as like franchises that I've enjoyed. And so it feels unfair in that way. But as far as like the console and what the console can do, I feel like they're pretty evenly matched. One thing that I really truly did not like about the PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox is on my Xbox I can play music while I played my video games, and I liked that. The PlayStation didn't do that. But then with the PlayStation 4, you could just run Spotify while you played video games, which is infinitely more useful. And I think all consoles can do that now, except for Switch, because Switch, I guess. I was super wrong. PS3 came out in 2006, says Liana. Ah, yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. Microsoft doesn't do exclusives anymore, and it's kind of sad. Oh, we had Sea of Thieves, but now that's on PC. I kind of really wanted to play Sea of Thieves, and I didn't have an Xbox, and it made me sad. Um, I've only ever owned a Nintendo console, says Jaime. Oh my god. That's cool. I used to be a big Nintendo fan, so I feel you on that one. I'm no longer a Nintendo fan, so it's hard. It's hard for me to imagine a world of only Nintendo consoles. I remember. PS3 can't do that Omni. You have to use a flash drive. Oh, can it? Then what was I thinking about? I don't know what I was thinking about. Get out of my room, bro. Freaking get into my smoothie, ruining my day. Word up. I just felt like it couldn't. I'm sorry, Bobby. Hopefully the coffee thing gets situated. Nintendo games seem more difficult, says Diz. Should I touch that, or should I just like move past that? Should I leave that alone? I feel like I should leave that alone. I'm waiting on a vote, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna open that can of beans. Can of worms, can of beans, box of worms. Nintendo games being more difficult. No, Lindsay, don't touch it. Oh no. No, yeah, Lindsay, don't do it. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. To be honest, the PS4 is a faster PS3 with more annoying constant ambient noise. Word up, Liana. Oh crap! I hope your cat's okay. Hope your cat's okay, Bobby. Umbe says I just abandoned any consoles that makes you pay for online. So sadly, I'm stuck to PC for now. Word up, Umbe. I understand that. Frugality, baby, frugality. You gotta save money. Jaime says, I really enjoyed them porting over so many games that were released on Nintendo consoles on the Switch. Because I get to experience these things that I've missed out on. That is really cool. I do like that. That's a pretty cool thing about the Switch. Have you played Last of Us yet? No, I have not played Last of Us yet. I've been very busy, and even though I can buy it now and play it now, I have a lot of work to get done, and I know if I buy Last of Us 2, I'm not going to get any work done for like at least 3-4 days, and so I'm trying to just mute it so that it doesn't get like spoiled or anything for me and focus on work for right now. And maybe I'll like grab it later this month, or early next month. Word. It's fine, it's ice. Word up, it's iced coffee. We don't need to worry about the cat being burned. Lindsay is closing the can of beans. Thank you. This can of beans is now closed. Diz says, sorry to clarify, I was talking mostly about Mario games. It's okay, Diz. It's okay, Diz. There's a few things that, like, make my ears perk up a little bit, and that did it. And I just felt like I was going to, because... No, I'm not gonna. But thank you for clarifying this. But I'm still. I don't want any of those beans. Those beans are spicy. Jaime says, save the beans for another day. Oh, we'll try. Sound design is perfect in this one. Don't say that. Yo, don't say that, dealer. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything about the game. I don't even want to hear that the game's good. I don't want to hear that the game exists. Spoilers. I didn't even know the game existed until just now. You've spoiled it for me. Speaking of beans, I'm hungry, says Maddie. Maddie needs some beans. I mean, I already played Witchy Song. But it can work on organ. Yeah, that's stupid, but I could do it. Bobby's gonna go work out. Something happens whenever I leave my house when I get back and I'm like so overjoyed that I can finally make my own food again. So after I finish the stream, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna fall asleep, but then I'm going to wake up and make an amazing lunch. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna be able to sleep. That's just how my body works. I can't sleep in the middle of the day like this. I'm just gonna have to push through and then like pass out, at like 4 p.m. or something like that. Okay, so really quickly, guys, we gotta talk about the production stream. So the production stream, over the course of these next 9 morning medleys, I'm going to be taking suggestions of things that I should do. I did take your suggestion. Was it Umbe or Diz? Somebody was like, why you choose certain samples and stuff like that, and why you choose certain sounds. I talked a little bit about that on the last stream, but I can go more into depth. It says you accidentally helped me learn the first chords of vanilla though in the OBS stream. Ooh, did you look at the MIDI, Lindsay? Were you checking out that MIDI? Did you like screen cap something? What is happening in my neighborhood? Don't feed the dog the spicy chicken nuggets, says Cyber. They like them, but it's too spicy for them. Take care of your dogs, guys. Lindsay says screen capped and rotated. Holy moly. But I think the MIDI for the first bit was only part visible. The MIDI also might not be the way I played on the piano, but hey, vanilla's vanilla, baby. How many moonlights as a baseball stadium organ player? That would be fun if I liked baseball. Everything sounds goofy when you play melodies and the organ. Oh wait, hold on. No. You know what? You guys, do you guys know what? You don't know what? Hold on. I'm gonna show you what. Just give me like 2 seconds. Bassoon, baby. I love it. Everything sounds cinematic. Oboe and bassoon, those are the 2 babies. Like, never underestimate the power of a well-placed and well-timed bassoon riff, because it has a lot of cinematic potential. Da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun 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 bum 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 ba da da bum ba da dun 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 bum ba da 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 dun 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 da da da. Ooh, I don't know what I'm humming, but I want to make it. Hey Omni, I know this is random, says Jaime, but do you happen to own any Oswald enamel pins? Yeah, I own a lot of Oswald enamel pins. I own every Oswald enamel pin. If you, yeah. I've searched the countryside high and low. I went to Disneyland in Japan just to get an enamel pin that wasn't available here in Los Angeles, which makes me sound like a crazy person, but I shouldn't say crazy. It makes me sound like a fanatic. Oh, I guess I am a fanatic. Okay, yeah, I have all of them. Hi, man. Good question, though. You ever heard of Gran Turismo 3 soundtrack? Sounds weird, but it's really smooth. I have heard the Gran Turismo 3 soundtrack, and it is very smooth. I would say that about quite a few of the Gran Turismo soundtracks. A lot of people have told me my music, when I use Rhodes piano, actually sounds like Gran Turismo music. People have called my songs racing tunes because of that. Hmm. That's dedication, says Deedling. I'm nothing if not dedicated. Okay, play lullaby and go to sleep, says Liana. I'm gonna close things up soon, I promise. This isn't just as much a promise to you guys as this to me. But I kind of wanna I want to make something like that really quickly. I got my hands on one randomly recently, and I was curious if you had it, but I'll assume you probably do then. And I would love to pick up my phone right now and go show you all of my enamel pins. Ooh. But I don't want to do that. But I kind of want to. I'll do it in a future stream. Okay. Is someone messaging you online? Someone was messaging me online, Cyber. Oh crap, did I not silence it? It doesn't matter. I mean, you should make a medieval album. There is a... Oh, Lindsay. Oh, don't say that. You know what? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. I'll do it in tomorrow's stream. Let me not say a future stream because I realize that is a thing I say a lot when I never end up coming back around to it. So in tomorrow's stream. In fact, tomorrow's stream, before I start the stream, I will make a smoothie on stream, and then I will show the Oswald collection because it is very big. It is very. I'm not the whole thing, obviously, because there's a pillow right behind the camera that's Oswald. There's a towel on my wall that's Oswald. There's a shirt literally right here. That's an Oswald shirt that I wore in a stream a while ago. I'm not going to show everything I have that's Oswald, but I do want to show my Oswald case because I'm an Oswald fan. Okay, when I used to play piano at the train station. I used to play that a lot. I mean, it was with piano, so that's not very accurate. And it doesn't particularly have like a key. It's just I would pick 2 notes. Well, 1 note really, and I would play them, and then I would just play any notes around it. was like supposed to kind of sound off kilter and like out of key, and it is thinking music. It is thinking music, Umbe, because I would do it when I couldn't figure out what to play. Oh. Okay, Lindsay, can you please tell me? Tell me what the things are in the future stream that you're waiting for. Because I am not a trustworthy source all the time. I can't even talk about one thing for 15 minutes without getting distracted by something in the stream and changing subjects. So, what is something that I promised to do in a future stream that I haven't come back to yet? Add them to the docket. I think the first stream I joined, you mentioned wanting to tell Korea stories the next one, but I forgot until it was too late. Hi, May. I do like my Korea stories. I think I've told one, just like organically, like it wasn't necessarily planned because I typically will tell travel stories. But before we go today, I will tell one Korea story. I told the Korea story about Haley Lee already, who was my photographer when I was out there, and how great she was. How great she was. I feel like my professional life has been filled with you know, the majority, right? This isn't like a black and white thing, but the majority of my professional life has been filled with men who are like so cool. Men who are just like, hey man, like you want this thing? And I'm like, oh, I love this thing. And they're like, oh yeah, learn how to do that thing and I'll meet you on the other side, brother man. And then they disappear from my life after having given me a really cool thing. And then my professional life is also filled with women that are almost the opposite. They're very rigid and hardworking, and I feel like I have to like earn their respect and kindness. And Haley was one of those people. So hardworking. And anyways, I'm not going to tell the story about her, so that was unnecessary. The Korea story that I'm going to tell. It took 60 streams to get a working OBS stream after 100. Oh crap, that's a good point. The funny thing is when I tried to do the first OBS stream, I didn't have anything, by the way. I didn't have a webcam. Like when I wanted to do the first one, I didn't have a webcam, I didn't have a mic. I didn't have anything that made the last one work. And I'm still missing some things that I would like to have in it. There's only one that stands out in my memory, but I feel like you've forgotten by now. No, tell me what the thing is. Tell me what the thing is, as I say this Korea story. So, in Korea, this story kind of involves Haley. Now, when I was doing my photography, when I was going to my photo shoot for her, she was going to be the one flicking it up. I looked it up on a map, and somebody was like, hey, if you want to get a Metro card in Korea, just a heads up, you cannot use a card. You have to have cash. And I was like, I don't have any cash on me. I don't want to like try to find an ATM right now, so I'm just going to like walk it. Because I pulled it up on the map, and the map was like, it's 2 miles away. I think it was actually, no, it was like 4 miles away. But in my brain, I was like, 4 miles? And it's cloudy? That's going to be a walk in the park. First off, for those of you that know how I dress, especially when I'm touring and when I'm playing shows, I'm not wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. I'm usually wearing a button-up, you know, the bow tie. I have like a cardigan or something over that. I've got like a whole thing going. And so I started walking to this meetup spot. And when they said it was, they being Google, said it was 4 miles away, roughly, I was thinking 4 miles flat. Now, Korea, I didn't know this, but I know this now, especially Seoul, is extremely hilly. There's a lot of just like you'll be walking in the city and there's just a big green lush hill there, and it's like the only way to get to the other side of it is like to walk over it, which is very steep, or to walk around it, which, as you can assume, is a lot greater distance. Also, even though it was overcast, Korea and Japan, for this regard, are extremely humid places. They are very humid. I don't know, island things, I guess. So I get started on this walk, and like an hour into the walk, I'm like dripping sweat. Like it's dripping off of my face, and I'm like, oh. And I have like my first, I'm like undoing my tie, then I have like my top two buttons like undone, and then like the whole button up is off, and it's like folded, and it's put in my backpack, and I'm like, I'll just get to the spot, and I'll like get dressed again. So that's what I end up having to do. But it was like a walk. And then when I meet up with her, she takes photos here, then we walk here, she takes more photos, then we get on the train and go here, take more photos, then we take a bus here, take more photos, and it kind of went on like that, like this really cool adventure. But the entire time we're going around, I'm talking to her. Um, as photographers do, I don't know how many of you guys have had photo shoots, but like I feel like a good photographer, in order to try to make their model feel comfortable, is like, so what kind of food do you like? What kind of music you listen to? That's a cool shirt. Tell me where you got that. And it's like, it's a trick that I didn't know existed early on, but now, having had as many photos as I've had taken, I can see it a mile away. And so I just try to enjoy it and engage in it. So she's talking to me, we're walking around. What kind of food do you like? What have you done since you've been in town lately? This, that. Talking about her life, talking about my life. Is that why the photos are shot from such a distance, so as to not see the sweat on the in the heat? Some of those photos are shot from very far away. I think that's just because I wanted to get as much in the photo as possible. I wanted it to be very clear that I was in Korea. I didn't want anybody to look at the photos and be like, this freaking bro just like went to the alley behind 7-Eleven and is telling me he's in Seoul. Um, but anyways, we talk. She takes pictures, and then like we get to a point and she's like, I think that's about it. I think that's it. And I was like, cool, great. And she was like, yep, and my apartment is like right there. So it was so nice meeting you, and I'll let you know when these photos are done. It should take about a week or something. And I was like, oh, cool. And then she like walks away, and I was like, where am I? Like we had like walked and taken buses and trains at like for like 2 hours. And now I was just like looking around, and I was like I have no idea how to get home. And um, sorry. Anyways, so I had no idea how to get home. She sends me like a couple of like test photos, I guess. While I'm there, I go to a place called Lotte Burger, which is like Lotte Lotte. I think it's a Japanese company. It's either Japanese. There's a lot of Lotte or Lotte. I don't even know. Lotte? There's a lot of Lotte things in Japan and Korea. I don't really know what its origins are, but I'm assuming they're Japanese. But I go there and I eat, and I'm like, I need to figure out how to get home, how to get back to the place that I was at, but I don't have the address for it. I kind of just like started walking randomly, and I wasn't like really worried. I was like, this will just be like a cool adventure, but I still didn't have um, cash, and I was like, I'm gonna need cash if I'm going to get back, because I'm probably gonna need to take a bus because we didn't walk all the way here, and it's humid and it's hot, and so I start going back, and I had this like really cool like. I was surprised at how well my memory worked. You know how for those of you that like maybe play DDR, I know Cyber will get this. You'll sometimes go into like a flow state where you're not really perceiving the arrows. Your body's just kind of like reacting to them. I was having like a weird thing happen like that, where I was walking and I was just kind of turning corners and going up staircases like that, and I was like, yeah, I think we walked through here. I can remember she was saying this thing about going to college in New York City, and while she was talking about NYU, I like looked up and I saw this lantern, and so I see that lantern, and I'm like, we definitely walked through this way. And it was like I was never actually fully paying attention to where I was going, but I was somehow able to make it all the way back to where I started. There was a few times where I got kind of stumped, where I was like at an intersection, and I was like, okay, none of this looks familiar, but I would like walk in one direction for about a block, and I'd be like, okay, this doesn't look familiar, and I'd walk back and then walk and then block in the other direction. I'm like, yes, okay, so that's the Lotte Burger. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. And the entire time I was there, I was truly stranded, because at least in Japan, I can read, the signs and stuff like that. Korea, I couldn't read. I can't read any Korean's written language. I can't speak any of it, so I was more or less just stranded, and I was able to make my way back just out of like weird contextual memory from us talking and me like looking around. It was pretty cool. For somebody that is going to go to Korea, just a heads up. I mean, I can only speak for Seoul, right? I didn't go to like Busan or anything, but if you're going to Korea, just know that the Metro card takes cash. You can't buy one with like a debit card or a credit card. And also a thing to note. Whoa. Also a thing to note is kind of like Japan. If you buy a card for the metro, there's a lot of things that take that card. Like you can pay in a lot of stores and restaurants with that card. You can also buy stuff from vending machines with that card. It's kind of cool. It's like the Passmo card in Japan. Is it called a Passmo card? Doesn't matter. Anyways, there's a Korea story. Hi, May. I hope you enjoyed this boring story. I am going to talk about a little bit of news. I have a new song out called The View. I know there's somebody in the stream that hasn't heard it because every now and then, I want to say every week or 2 weeks, somebody will say, hey, I finally listened to The View. It's all right, bro. And so, yeah, please go listen to that. I worked very hard on it. Also, I have Quick Breath and Ego Death are out. And they are on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Group, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube, which is a video platform that we're on right now, guys. The last stream that we did before this was an OBS stream. It was a production stream. I've talked about it a few times in today's stream. I think it went okay. I look forward to making it better and like working out some kinks. Thank you everybody that was patient for it being what it was when it was. Sorry it took so long, but these streams are kind of like, they're not even secondary. The streams sadly are tertiary, right? It's like I have my work that I have to do, and then it's like my passion projects, and then the stream is kind of like a self-inflicted rigid schedule to like keep me, honestly, kind of to keep me practicing piano, because contrary to what a lot of people think about me as a person, I don't just play piano every day. You know, if I don't stream, sometimes I won't even touch the piano. So yes, this helps keep me not rusty. So I like that. Lotte says, hi May. Do they make Pepetto? I don't know. Is that a joke? I still gotta listen to it. I'm not gonna lie. It's cool, Umbe. I know. I understand. Again, it took me 2 years to watch a movie, so it's hard for me to judge anybody for not taking my recommendations on listening to my music. I like to think that this stream is also a passion project, as in the fans are passionate and Omni is a neutral entertainer. Natural entertainer. Oh, that's really sweet. I would like to think that. Lots of passion in the stream. Guys. Will we ever get a new ending song? I've thought about that, right? I've thought about how Hush Hour has been the ending song for the stream for roughly 150 maybe. I don't think I started the streams with Hush Hour as the closing track, in the same way that I didn't start the streams with Signals as the opening track. But I feel like whenever we finish whatever is season 1 of Morning Medley, maybe I change the opening and the ending theme to something else, just like Full House and Step by Step. Thanks, Leon. I really do appreciate that. I hope I do. hush hour again, and it marks the end of the stream. Thank you, everybody, for being so polite and so respectful. Respectful to me and polite to each other. Also, thank you for being patient with me. I am very sleepy, and so I apologize if maybe I missed some questions, or I misspoke, or I was just generally, off kilter and off focus. I apologize for that. Well, Omni's catching up on. Oh, I thought you were talking about my music. Okay, well, Omni's catching up on sleep. Everyone have a martial arts Monday. Oh, that movie. The only way to have a martial arts Monday is to go watch High Kick Angels, or watch Shanghai Express, or watch Magnificent Butcher, or watch Rumble in the Bronx. I'm sure somebody in here has seen Rumble in the Bronx. Definitely watch it. It has one of the most interesting Jackie Chan fight scenes I think exists, as far as like choreography and prop integration, stuff like that. So yeah, go watch a martial arts film. Thank you, Lindsay. I'm gonna try to get some rest. Rumble in the Bronx is sick, don't they? Okay, everybody. Thank you. Abba. I can't end the stream now. I lost my touch, baby. There we go.